Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game! So, into the Cave of Stars we go. Wow, this place is pretty. I like this. Where do I start? Got a flail. 3 daisies. I really like the wall art up there. Those bricks are painted. Attention! Be careful when going up. If someone decides to climb up in the rain or a strong wind, and being tipsy moreover, the stars promise falling and getting bruised. Dear Bridges and their girlfriends, before asking for a wedding horoscope, please find out the exact date of birth of your betrothed. Signature, Vasily from a renowned family of astrologers. Okay, before I climb up, is this gonna do something? Closed. What kind of place is it? It looks like some kind of temple. This is the Starry Cave. Have you heard of it? Not. Larissa never told me. What is it? I don't really know, but there are monsters inside, and they change every week. When astrologers proclaim the week of Rat, rats populate the cave. When they proclaim the week of Scorpion, you're going to find scorpions here, and so on. We need to come here during the week of chickens. The local astrologer even pays money for killing the creatures in this cave, but lately he pays less and less. And what's the point of all this? Frankly, I've never thought about it. Me too, but we can always just ask the astrologer. Actually, this place is closed, so it probably doesn't matter. Wow, some tree it is. Air quotes tree. Does that mean it's not actually a tree? Is it fake? Just the right size for an observatory, but the ladder looks a bit unreliable. It's be very painful to fall down. None of you have been to an astrologer before? Just didn't have the chance to. I had an urge to come a couple of times, but couldn't find anyone to come with me and didn't want to go alone. You wanted to cast a horoscope? Not. Just look around. They say there's a wonderful view from the top. Well, now's a good time as any. Whee! I don't know why I wanted to say wee. Maybe because of the view? Poor me, it's so high. Hold me tight. Anastasia. I'm going to fall. Really? Let's go down. Down! It is closer to the top than to the ground. But climb up. But if we go to the top, that means we have to go all the way down. Therefore, in the long run, it's faster to go down. However, I want stuff. A boat? What does an astrologer need a boat for? I'm more interested in how he got it here. You're asking this about the boat and not the house? I mean, obviously the house was built up here, but one could easily say the same about the boat. Look, you can even see a part of Swifton from here. Only part of it? How beautiful and vast our glorious Rodonia is indeed. Yes, but is the Jewel Republic a part of Rodonia? Or rather, is Rodonia a part of the Jewel Republic? Vast, I agree. As for the beautiful part, well, if you look at it from high up, then yes, maybe. Money, couple of telescopes. Why do you need 2 telescopes? Is one stronger than the other? That's probably it. There is an achievement for talking to every animal in the game. I don't know that I necessarily feel like going around and talking to every animal. Okay, cat, you're gonna need to move. I need to steal a thing. What an interesting bird. It's beautiful, but it's not even moving, as if it were a toy. Maybe it is a toy. I'm just gonna steal this guy's stuff before I even talk to him. Scroll of Astrological Breach? What's that? Removes astrological buff from all enemies. I don't know what astrological buff is, but I'm gonna want to keep that in mind. I won't keep it in mind. 100 coins and apple juice. Don't think there's anything else of interest. That is an interesting crystal ball there, though. Greetings! Thank you for coming by. It's been so long since someone came to see me. Well, it's kinda hard to get here. Can't do anything about it. You can only observe the night sky from somewhere high. Nice to meet you, girls. I am Vasily, the senior and... the only astrologer of Swifton. In regards to the astrological buff, Beerforce says maybe it is a buff enemy types get from... let me try that again. Maybe it is a buff enemy types get during their week. That's probably it, yeah. That reminds me of another of the achievements, by the way. You know that slime that I had a hard time taking down? There is an achievement for taking it down whenever it is getting a buff from astrology. Nice to meet you too. Let me guess, you came to me for a wedding horoscope. I hope the happy bride didn't forget to get the exact date of the groom's birth. No, we didn't come here for this. We don't need a horoscope. Really? I see that you're armed. Do you want to enter the Starry Cave and fight the monsters of the week? Monsters of the week? It's dangerous, especially for young girls, but I can't refuse everyone who wants to enter the cave. Only children and pregnant women can't enter. Oh, and also the tax dodgers. Our kingdom won't let you simply die without paying off debt. Really? The rest is free to enter the cave, but I must warn you that once you step inside, you'll be left to your own devices. The help won't come. The monsters will appear completely unexpectedly out of thin air. Oh, random encounters. And star shards sell cheaper than dirt right now. Star shards? The Astrologers Guild pay 10 coins for each star shard you find in the cave. It's not much. Even young fighters from the Warriors Guild stopped coming. You spend more on healing potions than earning. However, as you can see, there are enough star shards here for years to come. Hence the low price. I just noticed there is a bat hanging from the wall. It's kind of cute. I assume it's not a real bat. Okay, what do you want to know? Oh gosh. Okay, here we go. Let's learn about astrology. My mentor never told me anything about astrology. I don't know why, but she wasn't very interested in this school of magic. No wonder. The Mages Guild is biased towards astrologers. Mages don't see us as colleagues, despite the fact that astrology appeared much earlier than the supreme magic. Really? Why? It's all about horoscopes. The Mages Guild and the Church of Light rarely agree, but their opinion on this matter is unanimous. Both priests and mages consider horoscopes harmful and even dangerous nonsense. but it's stupid to deny the obvious, especially when you run into giant scorpions during the week of Scorpion. Everyone agrees that the planets influence animals on some way, but horoscopes are more complicated and confusing. To know the fate of a particular person, we must take into account a great deal of factors. And alas, our craft attracts of charlatans. Those kinds of people who lack talent, can't stand working hard, but want to have some food on their plate. These fakes try to look smart and start making up all sorts of nonsense, calling it a horoscope. Of course, I'm not one of those. I'm a fourth-generation astrologer. The members of the imperial family came to my great-grandfather for help. As an aside, I like your glasses. Oh boy, we got a lot to learn here. How was he able to help them? My great-grandfather could not predict the fall of the monarchy, but he was able to calculate that the Grand Duke Gregory Zaitevich Lechevsky, please never say that name again, would not die because of old age, wine, poison, a woman, but would be killed on the battlefield. And so he was. Well, the catacombs of the Red Castle, which the Grand Duke tried to escape his own rebellious soldiers, qualify as the battlefield. And to tell you the truth, Grandfather made a little mistake in this date of death. He thought that the prince would find his fate 6 years later, but by the standards of Cosmos is of no importance. The prince could have had a slightly different opinion on this matter. He didn't come to complain. I think I know why. Because he died? How did you end up in Swifton, then? Technically, isn't this Rodonia? Intrigues, girls. Scheming and conspiracies of my enemies from the Astrologers Guild. And the stars didn't warn you about them? Alas, everyone makes mistakes. Clouds and wind don't shout to us with the storm that's about to come. That the storms... I think I misread it, whatever. We look at small signs and understand when the danger is close. Horoscopes work the same way. There are so many factors that even professionals can't always interpret data correctly. And as a non-professional, I gave up looking for signs a long time ago. I wound up seeing signs where there weren't, and... disappointment. Let's go back to talking about astrology. And yet, how exactly stars influence the physical world? Where do the weeks of rat, scorpion, and other creatures come from? Are you a fool? Put on a wizard's hat but don't know the basics. Everyone knows that Eos, Zedodar, and Amalia, and the other good gods began creating the world high above by drawing the images of animals in the night sky. What is that one game on the Nintendo DS? Scribblenauts? So basically the gods were playing Scribblenauts. Later, the gods released the creatures of sky to Yalmiz, thus making them the creatures of earth. The sky was empty, and only the sun and the moon continued to change each other, measuring day and night. Eos looked at the empty sky and knew that this was not good. Then the Light Lord waited until the creatures of earth proliferate and took the strongest of them to the star arc and lifted them up to the sky, allowing them to become constellations. Oh, what's that like for them? Oh, hello there, Ixion. Sorry I did not see your message about boobies sooner. Also, I have not played Scribblenauts, so I do not know that it was dope. It looked like an interesting game, though. Anyway, yeah, sure. But, what? But yeah, sure, but really happened, Vasily? Well, who knows? According to the best minds from the Mages Guild, constellations appeared at the same time as gods. This means us, mortals, created them. Hey! Of course, I'm not saying that theory is the only truth, kind priestess, but as a 4th generation astrologer, I must take into account all opinions. Okay, let's ask about the weeks. If the planetary orbits have been calculated a long time ago, why then do weeks change in a random order? Can't you make an accurate calendar to predict which week it'll be next? It's simple and complicated at the same time. The movement of planets is indeed predetermined, but our physical world is under the enormous influence of the elements. Gods and elementals constantly affect living and non-living beings. They wake up dormant volcanoes, summon ice storms, and of course, distort starlight that falls on Yalmaz. That is the name of this planet. This is why we know which constellation will reign at the last moment. You mean that you don't even know what week will come next? Alas, yes. This world is messed up. But at the same time, can you make a horoscope for a person for many years? Yes, such astrology is a complex and difficult science. I've heard that weeks change each other in different order in other parts of the world. You are right. Star cycles replace each other once every 7 days, but they are different in every corner of the world. For example, when we have the week of Spider, a week of Wasp may begin in Jolgrad. There are some weeks that we have not even heard of in the remote parts of the world. Why are things this way? It's difficult to explain. The starlight falls on the planet in an uneven manner, so the magic that stems from space manifests itself differently in different parts of the world. Once upon a time, at the dawn of astrology, astrologers were able to calculate and divide all lands into parts, creating the so-called star maps. Each map has its own order of weeks. Maps can be big and small. And which map is for our Swifton? That's the odd part. Swifton and the villages nearby form their own map, which is very small by astrological standards. This happens, although rarely. Interesting. Believe me, this only sounds interesting. Star fragments collected on one map are useless on another, so the Swifton Observatory, like the local starry cave, is of little interest to most people. In Jolgrad, there's an army of stargazers watching the sky all time. And I'm utterly alone here, doing the 3 people's job, and of course, neither the Prefect nor the Astrologers Guild are going to pay me extra. Yes, according to the rules, there should be 3 astrologers in each observatory, and yet here I am, alone. Well, at least it's always calm and quiet, and I am my own boss. Hear, hear. Okay, we'll learn about the Starry Cave later when we start exploring it. Let's first ask about the bird in the cage. What is that bird in the cage? Does it even breathe? This is an astral canary, an inseparable companion and a tool for any astrologer. A tool? How do you think we can tell everyone what week is next to come? Look at the stars? We never thought about that. On Monday, all people somehow just know what kind of week it's going to be. That's all. It was always like that. Astral canaries bring the news to everyone. At midnight, on the brink of the first day, I send the canary flying. But how can it fly around the entire country in a moment? I don't know, how does Santa fly around the world in a single night? And how does the information get into our heads? Can't say. Trade secrets, girls. Beerforce says, I'm craving food. I might have to put on pants and go get something. Boo! So is this bird flying around and giving subliminal messages to people in their sleep? Apparently we can talk about something else. Oh, never mind, that's just opening the door to the cave. Okay, time to learn about the Starry Cave so we can explore it. The Starry Cave is a unique place, the place where star energy of our material world concentrates. This is practically a temple, not to a god, but to the whole space around us. But where did the monsters come from then? Does the Week of the Scorpion attract scorpions from all over the area? Not. Ordinary monster cannot get into the cave. You know, I'm kind of wondering about the use of not here. It is interesting that they are saying not instead of no. And in fact, Kiba makes me wonder, are they saying not like not? Like the 90s not. Sure, I'll do that. Not. Ordinary monster cannot get into the cave. The monsters there materialize from the accumulated mana and take the form of the spirit of their constellation. It means that there are only summoned creatures in the cave? Exactly. Wait. I don't understand why there's a need for an observatory then. If spiders appear only during the week of Spider, isn't it easier to just go down and see what creatures are inside right now? Many people mistakenly believe that astrologers engage only in predicting the type of next week. But the fact is, it's not why astrology exists. It is not enough to just predict what week will come next. We have to foretell if there's trouble arising. If we only focus on the cave, we won't be able to do it. Trouble? Have you heard of the week of plague? Yes, it was mentioned in the old books. The last week of plague happened a very long time ago. Exactly. A long time ago, many people forgot about the week of plague, but the dark star of Abaddon did not disappear from the sky, and it will not. But astrologers can correct the star balance in advance using a special ritual so that the... Okay, you know, I would keep saying plague like that, but I think the joke has run its course. So that the plague week does not come. Of course, it doesn't always work, but in our days, the risk of the week of plague is quite low. But it occurred from time to time during Leonidas' reign. They usually send the astrologers to the quarry, and the magisters often found their end with their heads on their block. They didn't live long back then. There is a rumor that someone called forth the week of plague unintentionally, but there is no evidence of this in the archives. But what kind of ritual are you talking about? How do astrologers manage to change the star calendar? I don't know, but be thankful they do. This plague sounds like it's nasty. Are you familiar with the principle of that which is below is like that which is above? Yes, this is one of the basic laws of magic. The big affects the small changes the big. Everything that happens in the macro world manifests itself in the micro world too. Are we suddenly talking about furries? And vice versa. This is one of the reasons why the gods interfere in mortal affairs. The life of people changes the balance of power in their own worlds. Well, that's certainly interesting. Except for light. Eos, Vidadar, and Amelia help us only because of their boundless virtue. No. Anyway, you're redhead, fair-haired. Been a while since we had that joke. Your fair-haired mage here understands the law. When we perform the ritual, the star mana extracted from the shards can be sent back to heaven. Changing the movement to stars? No, of course not. A person cannot move stars, but we are quite capable of correcting light that reaches us. Interesting. Alright, so learning about the Starry Cave has nothing to do with us going down into the Starry Cave. In any case, that's what we'll be doing next time. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.